Trevor Baylis believed how the key to successful was to believe non-traditional thoughts. It was the thought how saw him evolve his clock mechanism wireless following listening on the problems of training African human beings on HIV and AIDS. It switched such in remotely areas out of power, or accessing to batteries, to get the data how could rescue their lives. But in spite the successful of the, and some inventions, Baylis never done a large transactions of cash of his lot ideas. Trevor Graham Baylis was unborn in Kilburn, Polar West London, on May 13, 1937 and driven up in Southall, Middlesex. His dad was an engineering and the youthful Trevor was entered to a constructor house set that encouraged his charm in mechanic things. The youthful Baylis complemented the household revenue by work on a regional breast milk circle that saw him receive up at 3 a.m. every night. He was as well a skilled diver and tightly unsuccessful to classify for the 1956 UK Olympic crew, thing he much regretted. He left Ward High School at 15 to job in a regional ground mechanical lab, visiting date release courses in mechanic and structure mechanical engineering. Baylis did his domestic facility as a natural learning teacher in the troop. While he left Ward, he got a job as a seller in Pili Pools, one of the at first companies to sell complimentary standing bathing pools. Since he was a nice diver, he shone the pools at shows, engaging crowds of capacity customers. He went on to shape an aqueous trick company that saw him divers in a window-sided pot and as well performance and submarine act in a Berlin cirque. It was fabulous, he after withdrawn. I done quite cash to buy a story of earth and construct the building of my ambition. The die of a shut boyfriend in a trapeze crash induced him to start evolving means for human beings in disabilities. Her die ruined my cardiac, he told. Thou understand invalidity is just a plant in leather off. He advanced a band of means by the orange AIDS sticker, consisting a handed pair of scissors and devices for discovery bottles and cans. But though the means were success they unsuccessful to do his luck. The expenses of receive a patent application were restrictive and companies were capable to back up his inventions. I went in the transactions that I mind would save the next of orange AIDS in guilty swiftness. I had been utilized to making industry on a shake hands and my speech of honor, and I done the mistake of in fact religious which the men in the pinstriped suits said me. It was to be thing how pursued his career but he remained philosophic, proverb he ever accompanied his cardiac. He's not on the cash, he told in a 2004 interviewing. I can think whatever worst rather than looking at a machine all day. Later sliding at yours look since down there is an essential meet on the men's toilets at 3 p.m. The concept for his Breeze Up Wireless came time he was observer a TV program in 1991 on the distribution of AIDS in Africa and a suggestion to gear it by radio education programs on the wireless. Baylis after told he went in a thoughtfulness imagining oneself as a colonialist colonist, nurse a gin and restorative and auditory to a Breeze Up phonograph. The picture emboldened him to go to his seminar, that was imbued in dismantled national technique or, during part and time, he had a work prototyping of his clock mechanism wireless. Training of his orange AIDS expertise, Baylis proprietary the draft and went in searching of a producer. All he close rotated him downward. All mind I was a genie because, up to later, I was fair else stupid slight person. A southward African business began manufacture his wireless in 1997 yet, one day once again, Baylis unsuccessful to do a large transactions of cash of the food. My error was how I trust the human beings I was work near. Big corporations can circumvent yours patent. He ultimately lose monitoring of his style and the business, partly sarcastically, began manufacturing more profitable Breeze Up radios for a West marketplace more worried in verdant issues. Fearless, Baylis extended coming up in new ideas consisting of shoes how could produce power as the owner walked. He shown them in a 100-me walk through Namibia to lift cash for a landmine Mercy. He as well set up the Trevor Baylis basis to promote and evolve new means or, importantly, counsel inventors how to defend their intelligent characteristic. He was decorated an OBE in 1997 and gathered a quantity of honorable degrees of guideline universities. Trevor Baylis never marital, religious how no woman would put up in the turmoil in that he favourite to job. He firmly believed how Britain was gentleman in its treat of inventors, importance lot means disappeared across the sea. Inventors do not get quite letter of credit, he told. I ever tell, art is delight, innovation is jewel. No seems to aware who developed the document music video but all has a